Today, where agility, collaboration, and swift execution is important, effective project management stands equal for success. Deadlines they serve as the North Star, guiding the teams towards completion and ensuring that the objectives are met within the specified time frame. Today, with technology advancements, remote work collaborations, and fast paced business cycles, the ability to set and manage deadlines effectively has become the core competency for the team. Projects often involve cross functional teams working across different time zones. It's not merely about imposing the time constraints, but involves moving tasks, accommodating individual work styles, and responding to challenges proactively. So let's see how we can set deadlines for a team project in this year. Hello everyone, this is Sonia, your friendly neighbor, mentor, coach, guide. Take me whosoever you want, explorer of new ideas, and of course, lover of strong coffee. Let's get started with today's episode. Cheers everyone. When you have to set the deadline for a particular project, the first thing what you need to do is identify the scope and deliverables. What does it mean? It means looking at what is the main goal, what is the objective of the particular project, how is it going to benefit the team and the company at a large look at the larger picture, what are the specific tasks that you have to accomplish in that particular project, what is the output that is desired out of it, how are you aligning the expectations of different stakeholders that are involved, what are the risks that are going to be that you will encounter, the resources that are available to you. So when you start looking at all of these things, things become much more clearer in your mind before you start saying, okay, fine, I'll complete this project in 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. When you start addressing all these questions, what is the goal? What is the expected outcome? How is it aligning to the stakeholders or to the overall growth of the organization? Then you basically start clarifying the scope in your own mind first. And what does it do? It avoids any confusion or any misunderstandings that the team might have or you might have in your own mind. Also, it will help the team know what they're supposed to do and why are they doing it, because it's very important. You're not somebody who will just say, okay, fine, the order is given and you'll execute it without knowing, okay, why are we doing this, right? The team also will have that question. When you start identifying the scope and the deliverables, you're also in turn answering the questions of the team as to what are they supposed to do and why are they doing that. They are also aware of the larger picture in their mind. Now, when you've identified the scope and deliverables, what do you do next? You then start breaking down the project into different milestones. A larger project, when you break it down into milestones, which is like intermediate goals you start keeping, which is like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And hence, when you start breaking it down into those, that becomes like manageable milestones that you're keeping. And when those milestones get achieved, what does it happen? The team feels good about it. They feel a sense of achievement. They're happy, they're motivated, and they're able to get that fuel inside them or the fire inside them that let's move to the next step. People celebrate the success and they actually then get motivated to move forward to the next step. Also, when you're keeping these intermediate goals or you're breaking down the project into milestone, you're also able to check the progress of the project also. That, okay, fine, we've completed the phase 1, now we're going to the phase 2. So, okay, fine, what is the time left? How much time have we covered? How much more time is it left? Are we able to cover in this particular stipulated? You'll know whether you are adhering to the timeline for the completion that you've kept for yourself, right? So it's very, very important. Start breaking down the main project into different milestones. Now, once you've done that, the third thing what you do is you start estimating the time and the resources that are needed. Now, what does that mean? It means that you start planning. What is the budget required? What are the resources that you require? Whom are you supposed to allocate what resources so that the project becomes a success in the stipulated time frame that you have agreed to finish the project. And here what you can do is you can use a work breakdown structure where you're breaking down each milestone further into it, so that you know, to achieve this, how much time is it required, what are the resources needed, which team members are best suited to complete phase 1, and then who is required for phase 2 and who is required for phase 3 in that sense. So you're able to look at this in a very different way. What you need to do is you start looking at your past data so that you get some insights, and those insights will help you in estimating what is the time and what are the resources that are required for completing this project, because you've also looked at your past data. You can consult a particular expert into this. So you start taking some expert inputs as to, if this is the allocation and the time that I'm setting, am I going in the right direction? Do I need to change few things? Do I need to include certain things? So start taking some expert inputs in this, and also use some estimation techniques, or look at what are the dependencies that you have. Is it dependent on a third party? Is it dependent on somebody else from a different department? How are you going to collaborate with them? Is it going to affect your overall timeline? So when you start looking at all of these areas, you will be very clear in your mind when you're setting timeline for completion of your particular project, right? Also, keep some buffer time, because there will be some roadblocks that will come. There'll be some challenges. You'll have to adapt to certain new changes that are coming in, new policies that have changed. So if there is something that requires some policies have changed, so you'll have to adapt to that. I think some buffer time is required. If you think that you're able to complete the project, say in 6 months, keep 30 days as a grace period in case if there is any challenge coming. You don't have to extend the timeline. It's very bad to go to the management to say, sir, give us another 30 days. If you've already included those 30 days, then you're sorted, because then you're meeting the timeline that you're keeping for yourself, right? So please do that. Estimate the time and the resources that are needed. Now, after you've done that, you come to the next step, which is allocate roles and responsibilities. So what you do is you allocate roles and responsibility where the team understands what their contribution is. The team is able to understand what they're supposed to do and by when are they supposed to complete their bit of work that is being given to them. And when you start allocating their roles and responsibilities, you know what is the strength and the weakness of your team, and hence you're able to give the right job to the right person within the team, so that they are more skilled, they'll be able to contribute in a more effective manner, and hence your timeline, whatever that you're setting, you're able to achieve that. And if you know that there is a team member who is not good in that particular thing, you'll be able to give him something else that that person will be more suited for. And all this will then lead to zero confusion. People will know what they're supposed to do, how is their work contributing to the overall project and overall timeline, and hence they will have no confusion in their mind and they'll be able to do that. And while you're keeping all of that, you need to also get into some feedback mechanisms. You need to look at who is the go-to person if there is any problem that is being faced by the team. So there is some escalation matrix that you need to establish, so that if there are any challenges that are coming, you know who is the right person to approach, and the team is not confused about it. Ki yaar, kisse poochun main? Abhi I'm just stuck here. Now who is my go-to person? When you're able to detail it out by saying, if you're stuck somewhere, please reach out to this person. If this person is not available, you can directly come to me. It's very clear. It's very, very simple. Another thing what you need to do is, when you're allocating roles and responsibilities, is that don't overload your team with too much of work. Because when you start overloading your team with too much of work, what does it do? It leads to stress. it leads to burnout. And when the team is burnout, then it reduces the overall efficiency of the team. And if the efficiency is reduced, you'll not be able to meet the deadline. So please make sure that your teams are not so overloaded that they face a burnout. Always have some team building exercises in between to make sure that the teams are motivated. And you can also use a RACI matrix. You can use a RACI matrix. What does it say? It is who is responsible for what job, who is accountable for whatever responsibility that is given to them, then who can be consulted if there is any challenge that they're facing, and lastly, you are informing everybody that yes, this needs to be done at a particular time frame. So everybody is well informed about it, right? Make sure that you're allocating roles and responsibilities, keeping the skills of your team member in mind, establishing the right escalation matrix, who is the go-to person, consult your mentors, consult people to know that you're doing the right thing. And once you've done that, then you basically using a SMART criteria. Now, what does SMART criteria mean? Something which is specific. So you know that you're bringing in this tool which is going to achieve, say, a reduction in the process time, say by 20%. So it's a specific project tool that you're bringing in, right? Then you are able to measure it, that before this tool, how much was the time taken by the team, and after you bringing in the tool, how much is the team time taken by the team, right? So you're able to measure it. Now, once you're able to measure it, you are able to figure out whether this is achievable or not. So with the right resources that you have in hand, with the right tools given to you by the company, you know that this is achievable. You know the skill gaps within your team. You know the strengths and weaknesses of your team. So with that, you're able to get an idea that yes, the timeline that you're setting is achievable, that yes, you'll be able to complete the project in the time span that you're keeping. And also you are relevant. So you know that this tool has been brought because it is adding to the overall objective of the company, it is adding to the overall objective of the department, and it is in line with moving with the trends of the market as well. So you know that this is a very relevant project, and hence whatever that you are doing in that project, it's going to make a difference within the company. And hence, you are also motivated with ensuring that this project gets launched within the time span that you will be keeping. And of course, the last T stands for time frame, because you know that you're keeping, say, 6 months or 3 months. You know that within this time frame you have to achieve. If you do not achieve, ho sakta hai that the impact that you will have, say, after 7 months or 8 months, if you still not completed the project, how will it affect the organization or the team or the department? So when also try to put everything in this SMART criteria, and it will give you a very crystal clear picture, not just to you, but also to your team. Now, once you've done that, lastly, you need to have a good communication and review system in place. See, when you're starting a new project, there will be some roadblocks, there will be some challenges, and which the team will have to overcome. And when you start having a regular review of how far we've come, what are the next steps, who is responsible for what, is there any challenge that you're facing, and that you can only do when you're having a good review system in place, which means, okay, every week we have to meet for 1 hour. Please share the progress, each and every person. Please prepare as to what have we achieved, how much time will you take for the next things to be done, etc. So when the team also knows that every week we have to meet, they'll be more alert, they'll be more agile, and they'll contribute in a more effective manner towards the overall project as well, right? And when you're communicating, make sure that you're using all the tools provided by the company, be it the project management tool, be it the collaborative tools, be it sending emails to people, using WhatsApp groups, using whatever, face-to-face communication, like talking to your team members face-to-face and telling them the relevance of this project and why is it so important, so that the priorities are clear in everybody's mind, right? So please have a good communication system in place, have a good review system in place, so that you know whether the milestones are moving as per the timelines that you have set for them. Now, when you're setting timelines for the project, follow these steps that identify what is the scope and what are the deliverables. Break your project into intermediate goals or milestones. Once you've done that, you estimate the time and the resources that are needed. You allocate roles and responsibilities. You use a smart criteria. And lastly, you actually establish a open communication and a review system in place, so that you're able to know the progress of the project, and you know you're walking at the right pace, and you'll be able to meet the deadline that you're keeping for yourself. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, you know what to do. Like, comment and share my video with your friends and colleagues. And yes, of course, if you've not still subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, because I'm going to keep bringing in such meaningful content for you, which is going to be more helpful in your professional journey, in your career journey. And if there's anything new that you would like me to talk about this year, do leave a comment, and I will surely speak about that subject in my coming episodes, right? So have a great day, everyone, and I'm going to see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.